Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vidamscha Namahum Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati iti namine Sri Varshabhanavi Devi Dayitaya Kripabdhaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Mahadayine Prabhave Namaha Madhuryojvala Premadhya Rupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinatarine Rupanuga Viruddha Apasiddhanta Dvantaha Arine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So, any of you have seen this PowerPoint before? You've seen? You've seen this PowerPoint? No. It's very beautiful, very exhaustively made. Only I pray that there will be adequate time to complete this. It contains the life of Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur and also the teachings and his instructions and his very special pastimes and everything, all put in one. There is also a movie available with me. If somebody gives a pen drive, I can give. It's almost like a 1 hour movie. Filled with Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur's life, it's a real thing, because in those times the video is taken. How the situation was, you will get to see. In that video, there is also one short video of Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur speaking also. You can't hear the sound so well, but he's moving the hand like this, he's saying. That you can see that. That was the time videos were coming up. So that is also available with me. But I may not get time to play that. I'll give it to you. You can just share it with devotees, I think. So, when acharyas descend in this world, in different countries, different places, they have a very specific service. They are actually, it is said in one of the Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya episodes, it is said, acharyas cry seeing the conditioned souls in this world. Crying loudly, they descend in this world after discussing with the Lord that we can't bear to... in this world, we feel the fire of mental existence, samsara davanala, and we suffer. But they don't suffer due to that. They suffer from the pain of seeing the living entities turning away from Krishna. That is their suffering. They also feel burning separation. Burning feeling, we also feel burning, but burning is different reason. We burn due to sense gratification. They burn due to seeing us suffering because of forgetfulness of Krishna. So they descend in this world. And Krishna, even if Krishna says, let the jivas take some time to come, but they cannot afford to wait. So therefore, they come down in this world. They don't have any karmic account to come in this world, but they descend. So some of the things that you all may know already, I will not spend much time, we will go a little faster. See, in 1874, he appeared in this world. Uh, Now today, this is the matha you see there, correct? Sri Chaitanya Gaudiya Math, Jagannath Puri, the birthplace of Vimla Prasad. So, just like I was telling you in the morning, Advaita Acharya Prabhu invited Lord Chaitanya to descend. Similarly, Bhaktivinoda Thakur requested Lord Jagannath to give him a ray of Vishnu. Why the word ray of Vishnu is used there? All of us are sparks of Vishnu only. Why this ray of Vishnu specifically mentioned? Because Vishnu is very mighty, very powerful, and very influential. He enters into every atom, and Lord Vishnu is extremely powerful. Similarly, the ray of Vishnu are pure devotees of the Lord who are called Nitya Suris, eternal associates of the Lord, Siddha Purushas. So when they descend in this world, their influence is also very powerful, like Sripad Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya, Sripad Shankaracharya, similarly Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Similarly, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur also. They are empowered by the Lord to assist in the mission. So, Jagannath Mahaprasad is first given to the deity, Bimla Devi. You might have seen Bimla Devi in the temple also there, in Jagannath temple. So therefore, he was named as Bimla Prasad. He was, see, you said he was born with umbilical cord wrapped around like a Brahmin thread. So when Jagannath Rath card came, the mother, when she put the child at the lotus feet of Jagannath, the garland exactly fell and encircled the child. So in the Annaprashan ceremony, after 6 months, they keep many things. They keep nice eatables to eat. They also keep Bhagavatam. They keep gold coins, silver coins. They keep many things. They keep to check whether he is a Brahmana, Vaishya, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, to check it. So he went and captured Srimad Bhagavatam. Yeah. So as a small boy, even at the age of 7, he memorized all the 700 shlokas of the Gita. He was very, very smart. He would never like to study the school textbooks. Still, he will be the first one in the class. So you may wonder how. So, yeah, this pastime, we all know the mango pastime. He refused to eat mango all his life because of that. Once he took mango. So his father gave him a Kurmadeva deity because Kurmadev gives stability in spiritual life. And he also gave him Narsimha mantra, and he gave him Maha mantra, Hare Krishna mantra also. So he gave Hare Krishna Maha mantra to awaken pure love for God, and he gave Narsimha mantra for the protection. He gave Kurmadeva deity to worship for stability. For everything there is a purpose. Yeah. He made his own shorthand writing system. See? If you studied making this kind of thing, stenographers use this. When I was doing my typewriting, I was learning also. Of course, it's a standard system of, shorthand is a standard system, but he made his own. Very quickly make it. His father trained him in proofreading and printing so that he can help in publishing the Sajantoshini magazine. So, 1884, Bhaktivinoda Thakur became deputy magistrate of Serampur. Then he put his boy in the school there. So he was not very happy with the mundane subject. So he started reading the devotional books more seriously. So he started on Chirkumar Sabha, which he called as August Assembly. His idea was to gather all the boys, like we have this GS, Gaurang Sabha type of group, so that he can make a very big ashrama for brahmacharis. But the lifelong celibacy, only he remained till the end. Yeah. Prabhupada used to say that he was a Shrutidhari. Anything he heard, he could hold. Yeah. So, He published books on astrology. Actually, he became a very, very deeply learned expert in Surya Siddhanta. He was the first one to make a very nice calendar. You know this Gaurav the calendar, which we use. So he said we should count March to March. Gaurpurnima to Gaurpurnima we should count. And regarding astronomy, you can ask any question. You can see how much expert he was. So therefore, he was given this title as Siddhanta Saraswati. Later on, how this name Bhaktisiddhanta came, that was given by another group of Brahmanas. When his father was once in Midnapur, I think he was sick. There was a very big gathering of Brahmins, and his father Bhaktivinoda Thakur was supposed to go for that, but he couldn't go. So he sent his son. So, Bhaktivinoda Thakur very intelligently, first he told how the Brahmanas are Bhudevas. Bhudevas means earthly gods. And what are their qualifications? Shama, Dama, Tapa, Shaucham, everything he explained. And the Brahmanas were very satisfied with his scholarly presentation of who a Brahmana is and how powerful they are and how influential they are and how they are representative of God. Even God, Lord Vishnu says, if you feed me in the sacrificial fire, if you put rice, I'm not as happy as when you feed the Brahmanas. Prasad in their mouth, I'm more happy, he says. Of course, he says, annam mixed with ghee. If you put in the mouth of a Brahman, that's more satisfying to me than when you put it in the sacrificial fire, which is the tongue of Vishnu. So he praised all those things, and all the Brahmanas were very much nodding their head and very happy. And then he said, the second part, he said, now I want to say who a real Brahman is. Kibavi prakibanyasi shudra kena noi, Jai Krishna Tattva Beta, say Guru Hai. The real Brahman is that Brahman is a devotee of the Lord. Shat karmani puno vipro mantra tantra visharadaha avaishnavo na gurur syat vaishnavo shapacho guru. Even if a Brahmana is very expert in mantra tantra visharada, but he is avaishnava, so he is useless, he is asar. Only a devotee can be a real Brahmana. Viprad vihadguna yudat arvindanabha पादारविंद मुखाक्षपचम वरिष्ठम मन्ये तदर्पित मनोवचने हितार्थ प्राणम पुनाति सकुलम नथ भूरिमाणः. He said, the Prahlad Maharaj says that a dog eater Vaishnava is million times superior to a Brahmana who is a non-devotee Brahmana. A Vaishnava born in a dog-eater family, of course, he will not eat dog after he became Vaishnava. He won't eat. A Vaishnava born in a dog-eater family, Chandala family, is superior to a non-devotee Brahman endowed with a dozen qualities. Like that Prahlad says. Why? Because that Vaishnava devotee born in a dog-eater family can deliver his whole kulam. Prahlad Maharaj delivered his father. Correct, no? Dhruva Maharaj delivered his mother. Like that, anybody born in any family can deliver if they become Vaishnavas. 21 generations they can deliver. But a Brahmana is useless if he is a non-devotee Brahman. So these kind of shlokas he brought up. That book is available, Brahman and Vaishnava book. You can read that. Very nice. I saw these shlokas there only. So he quotes these things. Like that he quoted dozens of verses from various Puranas, literature, Vedas, all those things. So all their jaws dropped when the Brahmanas heard this. And we thought, he is glorifying the Brahmanas. Now ultimately I said real Brahman is Vaishnava. So many of them put their head down and immediately ran away from that place. And the other people were doing so much jayakar for him. When he got off the stage, people practically garrowed him from all sides, trying to capture his feet, and the police thought there is going to be a stampede. So they requested Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur to put his lotus feet in one bucket of water. He put, and then they took that bucket to the stage and everybody ran behind the bucket and they sprinkled water on everybody's head. That's why he was allowed to come out of the hall. So he became very, very popular after that. In that assembly, he was given the name Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, who established bhakti as the ultimate goal. He was offered a chair in astronomy. That's what I told you, the University of Calcutta. But he declined it, thinking it as an impediment to his spiritual life. Why he was offered a chair? Because he had done a lot of work in astronomy. He has published, that is the time he got the title Surya Siddhanta. He had the work he had done. Even if you want to know about the 5th canto Bhagavatam, he has given a lot of explanations about planetary positions and many things. They refer to Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur many times. They go back because he has given very elaborately. He had a taste for it also at that time. He has given. So 1892, he finished his high school and enrolled in the Sanskrit college in Calcutta. So what was his two favorite books? Prarthana and Prem Bhakti Chandrika. You know what were his famous, what were his favorite songs? One is this one. Radha Krishna bol bol bolo re sobai. That's a song. Another song is Gopinath Mama Nivedana Shino. That was another favorite song for him. So and Jayaraj Madhav also. Yeah? Sri Manjari. He told toward the last part of his life, he told someone to sing. But these are the songs which he would consider them favorite. And see what he thought like this. If I keep studying at college with great attention, then I'll be under a lot of pressure to enter family life. But if I am seen as a stupid, incompetent person, then no one will try to influence me towards material progress. Thinking like this, he left the Sanskrit college. That is his thought. Later he took up work under the king of Tripura and became the Raja Pandit for 3 years, you see. So that whole state was converted into a Vaishnava state. Actually, Narottam Das Thakur is also a prince. He was also a prince. So he had preached, and the whole Manipur, you all know that. Our Maharaj, what is his famous name? Is BSDS. His one is Bhakti Sarup Damodar Maharaj. So Prabhupada used to tell him that you are from Manipur, and Narottam Das Thakur had made Manipur the Vaishnava state. Now again, Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur revived that culture in Manipur. So he retired with full pension, except only for a few years he accepted that. This is another very big episode. I will not get into the details of it. And his father told him, "See, I am your father. I don't want to initiate you, but you should take initiation from one pure devotee, whose name is Gaurakrishna Das Babaji." So this Babaji was a very, very strict Babaji, and he hated hypocrisy, duplicity at that time, and he was chanting all day, 2 lakh names every day, and known for his strict practice. Some 1 or 2 quick examples we can give. So many wealthy landlords would go to him, to beg for blessings and mercy. So there was one place where people would go to pass stool. In that place, that lavatory was an old place which was used for the purpose. That was dried up stool would be there, and that area would be smelling. So he would go there and chant the holy name, so nobody will come there. Gaurakrishna Babaji. And what cloth he would use? The cloth which would be used in a dead body. While burning the dead body, the cloth will be thrown away. Kafan, you call it, no? That's what he would use. So he was like a Vairagi to the core. And he used to sing this one famous song. Gaurara ami, mukhe bolile nahi chale. Gaurara achara, gaurara vichara, loila phala phale. Loka dekana, gaura bhaja, tilaka matra dhari. Gopanite atyachara, gaur dhare churi. So he's saying, if somebody wears a beautiful tilak and wears kantimala on the neck and poses like a Vaishnava, but he is secretly doing some nonsensical activities. So then Lord Gauranga will not give him mercy because he is Patita Pavan, not Kapata Pavan. So like that he used to sing a song. See, as we say, birds of the same feather flock together. Because Gaurakrishna Babaji was so pure, he very much was fond of Bhakti Vinod Thakur. There is one place called Swan and Sukhada Kunj, where Bhaktivinoda Thakur would give classes on Bhagavatam. So Gaurakrishna Babaji would go and sit behind and he would hear always. Because he knew that Bhaktivinoda Thakur was a grihastha with 10 children. Now he has taken Vanaprastha, and then eventually Babaji Vesh. He had accepted. So he would go there and sit and attend his classes because he saw he speaks very purely, he's very transparent, genuine Vaishnavas. So genuine Vaishnavas are naturally attracted to other genuine Vaishnavas. So therefore Bhaktivinoda Thakur took notice of that, and then he told his son, you should go to him. for initiation. He wouldn't give initiation very easily, just like Lokanath Goswami refused to give to Narottama Das Thakur for a long period of time. So like that, several attempts were made. Finally, he gave Diksha to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and that was the first and last disciple. He didn't take anyone else after that. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the past time is explained. Come some other time. He said, I forgot to ask the Lord Chaitanya. He asked, I'm not qualified. So many things he said. Somebody told me he went about 18 times or so. At last he got it. 17 times, you see. Then he got initiated. Then 1905, he took to the vow, which I told in the morning, chanting 1 billion names. That means 1 and 2 rounds every day for how many years? 9 years. He was living in a grass hut, and he slept on the floor straight. No, not even a cloth on the floor. He slept on the floor. He ate only 1 palm full of food, which would fit in 1 mouth every day, and 1 and 2 rounds he chanted. One of the days, the rain was so heavy, the hut was leaking. So he thought, should I set it right? He thought, if I go for setting it right, my rounds won't be over. So he kept umbrella and continued chanting. Yeah. 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 See, then after that, there was one gentleman who was wanting someone to take lead in preaching Lord Chaitanya's mission. So he went to Mayapur, and there he saw one day when he was walking in the road in Mayapur, he saw from the Ganga, somebody was loudly chanting Gauranga's name, Nityananda's name, and with raised arms taking bath in the water, and he came out of the water, and he was running in the jungle of Nadia, calling Gaura's name. And that man saw that was none other than Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur. So this man thought Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur is saying that he will be the man who will start the Gaudiya mission. This fellow is so much out of the world. He is mad after Lord Gaura. If he's chanting like this, dancing like this, he looks like more like a Babaji. I'm wondering how he will start. But after this 9 years, when it was 10th year, Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur went straight to this fellow's house and he battered the door. At the time, he saw him neatly dressed in sannyasi dress, proper sannyas dress, and he said, do you remember? You told my father that you want to start a mission. I am ready now. Come, let's collaborate and start. So he involved him after that. And then came the movement. Gaudiya Mati started after that. Yeah. 1911, old and sick Bhaktivinoda Thakur was called. He sent his son. Yeah, this I told you, correct? Huh? Okay, thousands of. Okay. He visited many holy places. You see, Shrikhanda, Yajigram, Katwa, Jamatpur, Chakhandi, Daihat, and other holy places, and preached about pure devotion. His travels included Srila Mayapur also. Okay. Now he became a traveling preacher. He started a Bhagavat Yantralay at Kali Ghat, Calcutta. My special master was selling recently in Bombay when I was there. He said he went to this birthplace of Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur. There is one machine kept right in front of the deities in this extreme side. Big machine, printing press. And it was written in that Cleveland, Ohio, America. From there, that machine has come. In Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur's time, he imported such a machine. And it's just beyond our imagination. In those days, importing things from the West was very rare. He got an imported car and he got an imported machine also. Car for distributing books and machine for printing. So my special master was so pleased with that, he was offering obeisances to the machine. Because that's a machine which was used for printing all the magazines and books, everything. So in this way, the Chaitanya Charitamrita and with his commentaries called Anubhashya, Srimad Bhagavatam with the commentaries of Srila Vishwanath Thakur, And Gaur Krishnodaya by Odiyan poet Govinda Das, and all these things he started printing and distributing. Vrajapattana in Mayapur. At the age of 44, what he did? He took sannyas. At that time, why he took from the picture of Guru? Some people say, if Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur is taking from the picture of his Guru, why can't we also take from a picture of Prabhupada or something like that? Some people argue. Because at that time, you have to know the situation, how it was. Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur's audience were different. Our Prabhupada's audience are also different. How? But they both preached Krishna consciousness in their own way, based on the need of audience. Because at that time, there were many of them were like Smartha Brahmanas, opposing the Vaishnavism. And there were also so-called Babajis who are corrupt. They were Sahajiyas. Sahajiyas means some of these Babajis, like one example I'll tell you. There was one Radha Raman Charan Das Babaji who was living in Jagannath Puri. So like those kind of Babajis are there. He used to coin his own mantra. Nitai Gaur Radheshyam Japa Hare Krishna Hare Ram. Although it looks very nice, you got Nitai Gaur also, Hare Krishna also, everything is there, we think. But it is a kind mantra, concocted mantra. So both Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur opposed him, but he would come and sit in the class to hear from Bhaktivinoda Thakur or Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur also. But because he was very famous and he had a big following, he could not give up this concocted mantra. He was continuing it. So they both very vehemently opposed it. But some of these Babajis, they made their female disciples into their gopis, and they would dress like Krishna. And they would do some so-called leelas, concocted leelas of their own. So therefore, Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur vehemently opposed Sahajiyism also. At that time, there was Sahajiyism, and even men would dress like females. They would say that now I have attained Manjari Bhav now. Tomorrow onwards, instead of my saffron dress, I'll come in my, wearing a sari now. I become a Sakhi now. Pune also, and I was cultivating one fellow, one well-to-do man, used to give some donation to ISKCON. One day evening, I called him for one program. He said, I can't come, I'm making arrangement because the next day there is some big event in our house. I'm calling some 300 people, he said. He said, I wanted you also to come, he said. I said, what is the matter? He said, we are calling one Vrindavan Babaji is coming. Tomorrow he is going to do Sakhi dance, he was telling. He said he is going to dress in sari, and he'll be dancing in. So I said, we're supposed to give knowledge, he's just dancing in this thing. So, of course, I didn't go for the Sakhi dance, I didn't go. What I am saying, therefore, Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur could not find a suitable guru who can award him sannyas. Now we may say in ISKCON there are many people who can award sannyas. Many properly situated gurus are available now. At that time, there was so much. In fact, you will be shocked to know, after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we had Goswamis. After Goswamis, there were three prominent people you all know. Who are they? Nathamdas Thakur, Shaman Pandit, and Srinivas Acharya. They did very good preaching. One state they covered. Shaman Pandit, even if you go to Odisha today, you will hear his name. And Nathamdas Thakur preached to the king and everything. Srinivas Acharya, very famous. If you go to all over, actually in Bengal, he did all over Bengal, he did all over Odisha, and he did in Manipur, all these places. But after that, our line declined because this is one of the reasons that it's very important to create succession. When we are gone, still the movement should go on. For example, every department should create a successor. If you are a deity department, then pujaris. If you are a preacher, then preachers next to you. If you are a manager, then managers next to you. Everybody should create succession. If you don't create, the good activity will stop. So then after this Goswamis and these three personalities, some of the Vaishnavas thought that the world is becoming very corrupt and we cannot preach like Lord Chaitanya and everything. So they started adopting Babaji Vesh. Just sitting and chanting all day, 3 lakh names, 2 lakh names. And those pure Babajis naturally must have gone back to Godhead. But then imitating those Babajis, many other men dressed like Babaji Vesh, but they are doing corrupt activities. That's where the 13 Apasampradayas came. Like there is a Gauranga Nagari, Aula Baula, Sakhi Beki. These are all Like Saki Beki is the Upper Sampradaya where they dress like Sakis. Gauranga Nagari people, they make Krishna like the Vrindavan Sham Sundar, and they try to have a paramour relation with Gauranga Mahaprabhu, which is actually not allowed. Gauranga Mahaprabhu never taught such a thing. Many other concocted things like that. Gauranga Nagari and Saki Beki. There are many Upper Sampradayas like that. Aula Baul. Baul is a good name. Baul is not a bad name. Baul means Avaduta, very exalted Vaishnava, who has no connection to the material world. One who is completely like with Krishna. Hmm? Like for example, you must have heard about Sala Bega. He would write poems. These were all very, very pure devotees. Baul is a good name. But then Aula Baul, who are they? They imitate such Avadutas in order to get popularity. So those kind of people started coming. So Vaishnava land became despicable. People would say that these Vaishnavas are cheaters, they are doing illicit connections, they are just eating and sleeping, they are parasites in society. So much bad names came. And then two other illustrious personalities came, Vishwanath Thakur and Baladev Devabhushan. They again revived. Baladev Devabhushan gave Govinda Bhashya. Again our Sampradaya became popular. But then there was no good succession. Again things were going down. When Bhaktivinoda Thakur was born, when Bhaktivinoda Thakur observed, at that time, this Baul people were very famous, Aul Baul. They used to sing very sweetly. That's another problem. So then our Bhaktivinoda Thakur used to put similar songs. You must be knowing that famous song. Saragaya makil tilak gaura milena. They would play like this. So he sang in the same tune like them, criticizing them. They said, hey, you are wearing Kantimala, you are wearing Tilak, you are wearing the dress of a Vaishnava, and you are cheating the world by doing this nonsense. So in that tune only he told them all this. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote many poems to counter their false preaching. So that was his challenge. But one more thing with Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he was a perfect gentleman. He called many, many senior citizens to his place. And he tried to impress upon them the importance of Srimad Bhagavatam. People who were into Shaddarshan, people who were into Vedanta Sutra, people who were into Brahmoism. At that time, Brahmoism also. Therefore, Brahmoism and this, what is his name? Raja Ram Mohan Rai. So these guys were there. At that time, they saw the foreign influence in India. So they thought that let us have impersonalism as a common religion to unite the Hindus, they thought. So they said, don't make deities. If you make deities, Mughals are breaking it. So let us accept impersonalism, so we don't need deities. That was their plan. So he had all these fellows to counter. Who? Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So he wrote that famous book, Prem Pradeep. If you read, you will see. In that he very smartly condemns, he brings us to the kind of Vaishnava conclusions for those boys who are into Brahmoism and all those things, impersonalism, Brahmoism and all. So then Bhaktivinoda Thakur came. So he didn't have any proper Vaishnava to offer him sannyas. So he said, I will take from the picture of my Guru, and someone like him who is exalted Siddha Purusha can do that, we can't imitate. Yeah. And Ultadanga Junction Road in Calcutta, he rented out a house. Shri Bhakti Vinod Asana, he made there. And in 1920, he renamed it as Gaudiya Mutt from there. And this building served as the headquarters of the Gaudiya Mutt for 12 years. So the Ultadanga Junction is such an important place for us. Why it is important for us? That's the meeting place of our dear Srila Prabhupada and his spiritual master Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur. So in 1919, Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur established Sri Vishwa Vaishnava Raja Sabha. Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur started it in a small way, and Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur made it very big. Today, if you go to Mayapur, you will find one Chaitanya tree, the picture, where branches and all the leaves, everything is fruits, everything is put up there. In that, you find our Prabhupada in ISKCON also you find, because that's one of the branches. Like that, there are many other Gaudiya branches. They have shown they have not missed anybody. All Vaishnavas who are properly situated, all their photos you will see. So he is the main personality who started that. So that not only we should, be within ISKCON, but we should have a respect for other Gaudiya line also, because their philosophy is exactly the same, except that the emphasis may be slightly different. For example, our Prabhupada's emphasis is missionary activities. And in Gaudiya Math, the emphasis became slightly more on bhajan side. Otherwise, the philosophy is the same, because all are Chaitanya's followers. So 1936 was to be the last year of the intense preaching, which resulted in 64 temples, mathas he established. Yeah. So here our Prabhupada went with Vrinda one day, a small boy. The bank of Radhakund, there were also other sannyasis. That's where one of the disciples of Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, he gave his entire life savings to Guru for building the Bagh Bazar Math. He didn't keep a single penny in the bank. Can you imagine? He told Guruji that I'm going to give everything I have. I'm building a big matha for you. I only request you, please give me one small room there because I don't have anything else. So he gave everything and he lived in the matha also, that disciple. And Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur used to glorify him for his dedication. And then when they moved to Bagh Bazar, it was very big. Even today you can see it's a very big, long property, very nice building. And there the sannyasis and brahmacharis, when they occupied the places, they became a little attached and the preaching activities little bit slackened. And Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur became very unhappy. He said, prior to this, we were in a smaller matha and the place was so small. He would print and keep books so much in the ashram, and brahmacharis had no place to sleep. Some of them were sleeping outside in the cold winter, covering with a blanket. And they would tell him, Maharaj, if you print so many books, we have no place to sleep. So he would tell them, sell the books and make place. And by the time they would sell the books and try to make a place, again he will fill it up with books. So the life was very busy. But now, once this matha came, there was abundant opportunity. This is one of the dangers of having too much material facilities. So we should have, therefore we say minimize material facilities so that maintenance is also minimal. Like, one Grihastha couple was telling me, they thought, if we go near the temple, it'll be nice. So they found out a property very close to some ISKCON temple. And they thought that let's have a big house, one room for the mother, one room for the father, one room for the son, and one room for the daughter, and then a big hall. We can also, sometimes temple, there is no place for holding the program. We can hold program in our house and everything. The God. But then once you make a very big house, what's the problem? Maintenance. And then the cleaning of the house. And not only that, sometimes the hall looks very empty. You think, let us fill it up with sofas. Sofa, fridge, and washing machine. You get many, many things. And then maintaining all that becomes very huge. Then there's no time to go to temple, although you are right next to temple. Correct, no? So therefore, other hand, if you make a small house, you feel, oh, we have so much money. Why are we making such a small house? See, the material world is always a problem. So that's why Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur here is in upset mood. He's saying, if you ever get money, print books. He said, I wish all the marble of the Bagh Bazar Math is removed and sold in the market and we print books and distribute. He said, we don't want luxury. We want missionary activities. So once Achyutananda, elder brother Bimala Prasad, had a nervous disease and became very sick. Bimala Prasad took kartals and chanted the Hare Krishna mantra constantly for 6 days without eating. And then a Sri Vaishnava tilak appeared on Achyutananda's forehead. He said, I am a Ramanuja Vaishnava. I committed an offense to a Vaishnava in my last life, and therefore I had to take this birth. Now I am relieved. Then he left his body. So, amazingly, see, they were seeing behind. Rama's tilak has appeared. Amazing, no? So, he did, for that Bimala Prasad did the 6-day kirtan continuously. This is the Radheshyam Babaji. Yes, Sahaja used to visit the house of Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur. Bimala Prasad never offered him any obeisances. So he asked Bhaktisiddhanta why he is not why he doesn't even look at me. He said he hates Sahajiyas, he told him. Yeah, in 1915, Bhaktisiddhanta's Diksha Guru, Glories Babaji left the world. So, many of the Babajis thought that if we make his the samadhi, then we can use it as a place for making good money, they were thinking. So they were all very much arguing, we should make the samadhi here. See, here some of the photos of Sahajas are there, you see, no? Yeah. So, at that time, Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur argued with them. Actually, Babaji Maharaj, out of his humility, had told, somebody asked him about his samadhi. He said, what samadhi? I am such a fallen soul. You drag my dead body in the dham. Let it be mixed with the dust of the dham. That's all I want. Like that he said. And this fellow was a little planning to drag him. Can you imagine? So, therefore, Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur said, you guys are not monks, you are monkeys. You have been into all kinds of bad habits. So he said, so he chastised them. All of them understood we cannot stand in front of him. Then he made samadhi after that. Yeah. This pastime you all know. Abhay's friend, what's his name? Naren. He took him to Ultadanga, and then this meeting of our Prabhupada with him, preaching in the West. So our Prabhupada was very happy. He said the message of Lord Chaitanya is in the right hands. And on that day he accepted him in his heart as a spiritual master. So devotees told Bhaktisiddhanta that Abhay should be made the temple president. What he said? When the time comes, he will do everything. Which means he was observing always. He likes to hear. In Koshi he understood he likes to hear. So he always thought this boy is going to do something wonderful. And Prabhupada wrote this famous line, absolutely sentient, thou hast proved impersonal calamity, thou hast removed. And Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur was so pleased with these lines. He said, he has understood my heart. He showed it to all the friends and appreciated it. Yeah, this I already told you. See, Subhash Chandra Bose is coming to meet him. So many people you have captured. They are not doing anything for nationalism. What Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur said. Well, for your national propaganda, you require very strong men. But these are all Brahmana boys, very thin fellows, skinny fellows. Don't put your glance on them, he said. Let them eat some little prasada and chant Hare Krishna. Once Subhash Chandra Bose told Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, I wish I can also become your disciple and join your matha. But I have a very important duty outside. I have to do it, he said. So that is another episode that is also there. So many were very impressed with his presentation of the Siddhanta in English. Yeah. Master, he became entangled with a lady. We rebuked him so much for his behavior that he fled from this place. So Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur became very upset. You drove him home. So I will not, take prasad. So I don't want to establish a preaching center here. Nowadays I want to install the deities in this world. We spend hundreds of gallons of blood to bring a person out of clutches of Maya. If he has made a mistake, it will be washed away by serving Hari Guru and Vaishnavas. Search him and bring him to me. Otherwise I will go away, he said. So they went and found him in a watch shop. They brought him. So they put, he was wondering, how can I see his face? And he was weeping. And then, see, once Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur gave a heavy class on detachment from material life. And later, while writing, he saw a monkey was stealing bananas from the storage shed. He ran out with a stick to chase the monkey away. Overturning his writing, small table was there. So, and ink was spilling on the manuscript, he ran. So people were wondering, you spoke on detachment, why are you chasing after the monkey? They asked him. For that he said, today you instructed that one must become detached, but I cannot understand your behavior. For just 2 bananas, why are you chasing after monkey? They asked. And then what he said, these bananas belong to Srimati Radharani because they are to be used in Krishna's service. So I am not going to spare this monkey. So chased after. So that's the whole point, which means The Acharya's actions cannot be immediately understood, why he does what he does. Similarly, I'll tell you cases of 3 stealing cases, I'll tell you. One brahmachari stole a book, some books from the gift stall in the Gaudiya Math. So when Bhaktisiddhanta came to know, he called that brahmachari and said, "Do you think by stealing these books and reading you are going to become enlightened? Huh? You have to render loving service to Guru and get blessings, and then knowledge will be revealed. Huh? Don't do this. Huh? Because you are very young, we are not giving you advanced books. You render service, become fit to read those books, and you will be given those books. Huh? Don't steal and try to read advanced things right now," he said. Another time, there was one pujari, one brahmachari. He stole some jewelry which was kept for the deity. That's why Prabhupada never entertained gold and silver for the deities. Prabhupada said, far from even outsiders stealing, even the pujaris can steal. So immediately Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur called him and said, "Remove your saffron, wear white, go home, never come back," he told him. Very strict with that, because Krishna's property should never be stolen. So he chastised him. So there are examples of, there was one Brahmana who also stole some, ghee and sugar and oil from the mat. When Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur heard it, he was very sad. He called the Brahman and said, "Why are you doing this? You ask me, I will give you." He said, "I have to get my daughter married. I am very poor." So Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur gave him some money and ghee and all. He said, "Ask and take, don't steal." So once a cook who fought with all the devotees at Yogabit temple in Mayapur left his body. So then all the devotees were talking. Hey, this cook, he was always, they were talking about all his quarrelsome nature. That time Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur came back to Math and said, "What? Can any of you tell me what are his good qualities?" Then some of them said he used to sing kirtan well, he used to play mridanga very nicely. So then he told, "Why don't you glorify him for that?" She always washed his dhoti nicely and was very clean. So Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur wanted to tell them, after a person dies, we should not talk ill of him. Whatever good was there, you talk about that. There are only 2 cars in Calcutta. One with the governor and another one with Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur. So he took that car for distributing books. Many people in the village would come to see the car and he would give them books. One materialist channel, "What new spiritual news do you have to print a news every day?" He said, "I can print a news every minute. You don't have time to read." He told. "There is so much news from the spiritual world," he said. So when he could not offer milk to the deities, he said, "Have I thought like this for my own sake? That's wrong." So he was a personality, was very, very conscious in everything he did. So soon one milkman brought a large quantity of milk, butter, paneer, everything. See? And he was surprised how in this flood, when there is nothing, how so much has come. So the point is, Krishna arranges for such great personalities everything. Babu, do you think, one time when he was giving lecture, our Abhay Babu was sitting with another man, and that man was telling something to our Abhay Babu. And Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur was giving a lecture and he saw, and then he pointed to him and said, "I agree that you gave me 150 rupees donation. Do you think you have purchased me with that?" Yeah. So our Prabhupada says, "I also became careful that we should not talk during the class." He says, "If you don't want to hear me, you come and speak," like that he said. See, he is one of the first acharyas to make a huge diorama display, just like you see there, how Goswamis, all their beadbacks are shining. You see that? Correct? Huh? So beautiful it looks, which means you have to keep a beadback clean, I think. It's clean now? Yeah. So, and the diorama just coming out like mural, correct? No? So beautiful, you see. Similarly, he made Leela Pradarshini. of all Chaitanya Leela, Krishna Leela, Ram Leela, all these Leelas. Hmm. Actually, I also have a very great desire that we want to make small size displays of multiple pastimes. We can keep them in Godon or somewhere, and then for special occasions like Janmashtami and all, we can bring them out. And not only why somebody may say every year, how can you show the same? But we can put it in different parts of the city. We can take it. It should be made of fiberglass. Huh? It should be made this size or something like that. It should be very lightweight. You can display it and take it and put it in different parts of the city because people will come to see. And these pastimes should be easy to explain to people, like fruit vendor lady showing fruits to Krishna, and then Gajendra Moksha, that kind of pastimes. So when he made display, huge crowds of people came to watch. And it was also philosophical and also pastime were in both. Yeah. Like in Pune, when I was the one who was designing the spiritual inputs to the campus. So I had designed this Dhruva pastime and Narsimha Leela, both. And then this side, if you go around the temple, first you will get Dhruva pastime. Then you get Prahlad Narsimha pastime. Then you get 5 rasas, which means by the time you take one round, you are a pure devotee. You start with Dhruva, who had mixed devotee, then Prahlad, who is a pure devotee, then you go to 5 rasas. Then you come back. That's how it was made like that. Okay. So he made this Vaishnava calendar, I told you. Navadvipa Panjika, he calls it. So many books, you see. Sajjan Toshini, Harmonis, Gaudiya, Nadia Prakash. Very great scholar in English. Even his vocabulary was so great that even British people have to look at the dictionary. He published more than 108 essays. Any of you try to read his articles, they are a bit difficult for us to comprehend many of the words. Even Chaitanya Charan Prabhu, he got 2350 out of 2400 in GRE. When he read Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, he was astonished. He said, even I have to look at dictionary. Selling. So it's very amazing Victorian English. See, so many books has published. We have this Chaitanya Bhagavat with along with the very nice commentary also. He also discovered many pilgrimage sites of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, see, and they established Padapithas. Now his Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj is continuing that legacy. He is also establishing more and more Padapithas in many places. See, as a revolutionary preacher, Dioramas, boat party. And he brought British people to the temple and put chairs in the temple hall. It's very rare to see in any of the Indian traditional temples will you find chair in the temple hall. You put chair in the temple hall, made them sit comfortably. We put for senior citizens at the backside, we put. But he put in the temple hall for a whole audience because they were all British people. They needed chairs. And he preached even viceroys also, he preached. You see, viceroys, Indian kings, governors, all big people he would meet. And he would also dress in such a manner that he can, to wear. Here he says, you see, first spiritual teacher in this land to allow his renounced preacher sannyas to wear Western clothes and travel in modern conveyances rather than on foot, based on the principle of Yukta Vairagya. He accepted and respected all the 4 bona fide Vaishnava Sampradayas. You know that, correct? You find all the 4 Sampradayas when you circumambulate, correct, no? It's made the deities also. Now the last part, we are coming to the teachings now. See, he was born in this Karkata Rashi. Karkata, no? Correct, no? The crab. Karkat? Karkat. So he was born in that. So when somebody told him that he was born in that Rashi, he said, yes, so that anybody who opposes the philosophy of Chaitanya and speaks false philosophy, I am like a crab who will catch them and squeeze them. Like that he said. That's why I have been sent for that purpose. Prasiddhanta Dvantaharine. So he said, because the crab catches, you see, no? So he said, isn't that Rashi? Thoroughly condemned people who wanted to perform solitary bhajans. No? Of course, you can chant in garden, not a problem. They have put a poor fellow. Yeah, it looks like he's ISKCON devotee only. See, we are not doing, it's not solitary bhajan. Solitary bhajan means you try to imitate the Haridas Thakur by doing 3 lakh names, sitting in a. If any of you want to chant like this in the garden, how much we chant? Few balance rounds we chant and come back. Pranachayar se hetu prachar. So life should preach. He didn't like brahmacharis, sannyasis sitting in the ashram and growing the tummy. He said, go out. Out. Everybody should be out preaching. He used to call the printing press as Brihat Mridanga. One Mridanga sound can be heard in one room. Brihat Mridanga can be heard all over the world. See, this is Gaudiya Math logo. It has a Aarti bell representing Pancharatrika Vidhi. Aarti bell and lamp are there, correct, no? And it also has Bhagavat Marga also. Here you can see the Mridanga is there. See, Bhagavatam books are there. Correct, no? So Pancharatham, this side, Pancharatham Vidhi is the worship of the Lord. Well, all these things are there. So both Bhagavad Vidhi, Pancharatham Vidhi should go hand in hand. That was his idea. But he gave more emphasis to Bhagavat Marga. These are very important instructions. You all know this. Do not try to see Krishna. Serve him in such a way that Krishna will want to see you. Topmost way of serving Krishna is to serve his devotees. Higher taste is the willingness to sacrifice for Krishna's pleasure. So these are things which he has been emphasizing. Even now, today, we all discuss in our classes, in our regular ISKCON classes. Many of Prabhupada disciples also quote these things. One time, his disciples took him to one temple where the sanctum sanctorum was far away. He was way behind. Even in Jagannath Puri, he will only take darshan from Garuda Stambha only. So his disciples told, Maharaj, the pujari is calling you inside. You can go near the deity and take darshan. Because he had not brought his specs. So that day. So he said, no, I don't have to go near and take. Because Lord has seen me, that's enough, he said. He's the drashta. Drashta means he's a seer and we are seen. So we have to present ourselves to him. That's more important than whether we see him or not. He has to see us. Like that he said. And he said, we are not here to enjoy Krishna. Krishna should enjoy us because we are meant for his pleasure. So one man, Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur saw one day that he was eating too many rasagullas. So he was eating a dozen rasagullas, one after another, asking for more and more. So he asked him, are you eating rasagula? Rasagula is eating you. So he told him to control his senses. Humility is the most difficult virtue to achieve, but that's what attracts Krishna. So artistic thing and all cannot attract Krishna, he said, if it is devoid of humility. Like somebody was telling him to Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, Maharaj, please tell Ananta Vasudev to sing this Yashumati Nandan, because he used to sing very sweetly in Bengali. Yashumati Nandan, Brajavara Nagara. So, but Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur would not entertain that. He would say that, you should not ask for a Vaishnava song to be sung for your pleasure. It is sung for whose pleasure? Krishna's pleasure. You want to just enjoy. So he said, on Vyas Puja day, he spoke this. I feel like a wretched, sinful dog sitting on Vyasas, and you are all my Prabhus. Radharani and my spiritual master have sent me as a representative to train you and teach you how to love God. Therefore, I am accepting this role of a guru. Otherwise, I have no qualification. That was his mood. Please read this, one of you, take the mic. The mathas.
The mathas.
In the mic, yeah.
The mathas, temples, were not established to favor ordinary people, but to help pure devotees advance in spiritual life. We serve Lord Gauranga simply by performing Sri Krishna Sankirtana. The Bhagavatam verse, Yagnai Sankirtana Prayer Yajantihi Sumedhasaha, supports this idea. The example set by Sri Krishna's Gaura pastimes is the only auspicious way to perform perfection for the jivas. The mathas have not been established to please bhogis or tyagis, enjoyers or renunciates. They have been established to preach pure devotional service. We receive blessings as we serve Hari by establishing mathas.
Ah, because Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur observed that when matha is dharmashala mathas are established, some parasites come and take undue advantage of that place, simply eating, sleeping, washing clothes and, doing their own sense gratificatory activities. So he very much condemned. Prabhupada also, in many of his letters and all, he condemns, he says that if anybody is lethargic, you drive him out, don't keep. Huh? Because this movement is meant to be like a missionary movement. Huh? They should not live on the project like a parasite. Huh? So Bhaktivinoda Thakur also very much condemned the bhogis. And the tyagis are those who appear like renunciates, and if they are not proper renunciates, again, bhog, tyag, both are two sides of the same sense gratification. Read that. Our intention.
Our intention is not to collect 1 or 2 rupees to benefit the matha. We should not be eager to take help from unscrupulous people. Rather, if we can benefit anyone by speaking the bold truth, then the matha's purpose is served. People will often play tricks on us. We should consider such tricks as the Lord's test. It is difficult to cross beyond insurmountable Maya unless we are greatly fortunate. Mayavadis and Bhogis are both conditioned souls. By the mercy of Krishna's devotees, persons who surrender to Hari can discriminate between good and bad, right and wrong. Know for certain that being drawn by the enjoying spirit, many people cannot realize the absolute truth.
Yeah. So this enjoying spirit is so deep rooted that materialistic people have the spirit, we know that. But even after becoming devotees, somebody gets caught up because of a long tongue. Huh? They chase after food. So too much of prasad eating may puts them to sleep. They become lethargic and lazy in spiritual life. Or somebody becomes attracted to opposite sex. Huh? Or somebody becomes attracted to post and position, name, fame and glory. Huh? Or somebody, due to insecurity, criticizes other Vaishnavas and becomes prey to offenses. So in this way, Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur said, we have so many ways in which we get deviated even after coming to the matha. Yeah. So therefore he is saying it is more intelligent to create a living matha rather than to build a matha for comfortable living. Then somebody must ask, what is a living matha? He says, creating a living matha means to attract faithful persons to surrender at the lotus feet of the Guru. The highest welfare activity is to attract living entities to serve the Guru's lotus feet by describing to them the Acharya's glories and service. For this, we spend gallons of blood. Such preaching will please both Guru and Krishna. Therefore, to dedicate body, mind, and speech to such philanthropic activities is the real perfection of life. A matha surcharged with talk of Krishna's glories and service is non-different from Vaikuntha. Thus, living in a matha is just like living in a dham. Harikatha must be predominant, must be prominent in the matha. There is no use in building a matha simply to facilitate eating and sleeping. Mathas should be built only to spread Harikatha. This will benefit us and others. Generally, it is seen the living entities, they look for sense gratification everywhere, including the temple also. Huh? So, sometimes you see in Prabhupada's appearance day, we used to have like 800 or 1,000 people attending the program. When you go to the Prasadam hall, there are 4,000 people. Because most people don't hear the glories of Acharya. But they come to temple and directly go to the kitchen. That hall like that. So therefore, what in Pune we have started this FFL, we call it, Food for Life department. So morning after the Bhagavatam class, people, we give free prasad there in Pune daily. Some 300 people take. So, but attending Bhagavatam class would only be 80 to 100. So where did the 200 people come from? Suddenly people come and we don't mind giving prasad. So what we did, as soon as they sit for the prasad, we give them mala and tell them 1 round we will chant. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. This is also prasad for the soul. Yeah. And another day, we play a video of some Swami in ISKCON, some Maharaj we play. They will ask, prasad kitne baje hai? Ye pahla prasad ka hi hai. And after that goes on for 10-15 minutes. Then only we start prasad. Other days, we put Aindra Prabhu's Kirtan, we put along with the prasad. So I told them that along with prasad, there should always be some spiritual input, holy name or Harikatha. Because people should know why they are coming to temple. They should not just eat and go away. Yeah. How to become dedicated devotees? Devotees are fully dedicated to their Guru or the living source. And we are to hear from such living sources so that we too can become dedicated devotees. People devoid and bereft of seva to the Guru are dead even as they breathe. Do not associate with such non-devotees if you do not want to harm your spiritual progress, he says. That means people who don't serve Guru and Krishna, they are considered living dead. Bhagavatam says that also. Neghayat karma dharmaya na viragaya kalpate na tirtapada sevaya jivan api mrito hisaha. Bhagavatam says that. No? Jivan api, the body is breathing, person is walking, still he is dead. Why? Because he is not engaged in seva to Guru and Krishna. Real kirtan is, when the singer has no ambition for name, fame and recognition. If no one comes, we will pitch to the walls. You all know this. We are attached to seva, not to results. We should not flatter people for some monetary gain. We should have faith that if we speak plain, simple truth, Krishna will provide everything. In preaching, it's better to have one moon. Ekaschandra tamohanti nachitara sahasrashaha. So he used to say that try to bring people who have faith in Krishna, people who are willing to do seva, people who are willing to dedicate and very living devotees. Yeah. So there are many. Love and trust can only be there when Krishna is the center. If anything else comes, we will become enemies, he says. Better to preach to one who wants to surrender than to millions who want to enjoy. See? Such a powerful. Anyway, he used to say that if somebody wanted to meet him, he would ask him, who are you? He would say, I am a devotee of Krishna. He would say, sorry, I have no time, I am busy. Because I am servant of Krishna. Now I have all my time. Come on. They made it like a dialogue, no? Which means, there is one verse in Adi Purana, Lord Krishna says that, those who claim to be my devotees are not my devotees. Those who say they are devotees of my devotees, then they are my real devotees, he says. Yeah, before passing away, these are the instructions he gave. Follow in the footsteps of Rupa Raghunath Goswami, which means study their books. 1936 he left. He said, please bear in mind our sole duty and religion is to spread and propagate service to Lord and his devotees. So Prabhupada called him a Vaikuntha man and Simha Guru. These are names our Prabhupada gave him. Yeah. 1937 he left. Many thousands of years ago, Padma Purana had predicted the appearance of Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur. A very elevated, pure and learned personality would appear in Purushottam Kshetra to spread the glories of Jagannath all over the world. His activities would be very unique. Just see. It's there in Padma Purana. That's a quote. In Radha Govinda's eternal pastimes of Golaka Vrindavan, Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur is serving in what personality, what form? Nayana Manjari. She and Kamala Manjari is Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur. Are both confidential gopi assistants to Ananga Manjari, who is Balaram's expansion. Radharani is younger sister. So both are assisting Balaramji, Ananga Manjari. And to Srila Rupa Manjari, who appeared in Lord Chaitanya's pastimes as Rupa Goswami. Which means Ananga Manjari, below that Rupa Manjari, and then these two, Nayana Manjari and Kamala Manjari, are assisting Rupa Manjari. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur ki. So I'll take the questions quickly. Can you give me the questions? Yeah. Yesterday I promised that I will answer.
Hare Krishna.
I heard that there are some few questions I heard.
Yeah. They have sent me a message here.
Yeah.
I'll ask the questions. And
Yeah,
chits have been passed. Chits can be collected and sent to me. So if time permits, we'll take those also. So this is regarding yesterday morning question or session, Prabhuji.
Uh, unity and diversity.
Yeah.
So liberalism versus conservative in preaching and standards to be followed has caused quarrel among devotees. Liberalism and
Correct. I
conservative
understand that.
quarrel
Yeah.
among devotees.
Yeah.
Some devotees are even banned from preaching in temples and zones because of their conservative nature, kind of thing. So, how to see unity when senior devotees of ISKCON have a strong opinion on their version of following Prabhupada is right for the reasons they quote and disagree with another?
Actually, those in the name of strictly following Prabhupada can be fanatics, and that fanaticism burns other people and it drives away people also. On the other hand, there are people who strictly follow Prabhupada and they are able to give a very big shelter to thousands of people also. They are brought into the movement. In the same manner, the liberal people who preserve the purity of this movement without compromising, and they have brought very difficult nuts into the movement, tough nuts into the movement, and they made them big devotees also. There are examples. And in the name of being liberal, people have diluted it so badly that nobody can understand there is any connection to ISKCON. Huh? In the name of bridge, they have made it so liberal. And it looks like many other organizations also say similar things, you know. So they have diluted. So all the four categories are there. So what I would say, we have to emphasize on the principles and not the details so much, because the details are variable, but the principle should not be changed. So both the faithful followers of Prabhupada, as well as the people who are liberal, who also are very fond of Prabhupada and they are faithful to Prabhupada. There are both types of people. These people who hold on to the principles. Principles cannot be changed. The moment you change principle, then it's going to boomerang. The details can be changed. For example, I'll just tell you an example. In one house, for a marriage, somebody brought a kitten and a basket, isn't it? Huh? And then the pujari asked, why you have brought this? Why are you keeping it here? He said, no, it's tradition. It's our tradition, family tradition. It was also there in the previous marriage in the family. And he laughed and said, hey, previous marriage was conducted by my father only. He only conducted. At that time, there was one small kitten in the house moving around, passing stool here and there. My father was worried that it may contaminate the sacred yajna items, correct, no? It will get polluted. Therefore, he told to put a bucket in which he can put the kitten. That time, kitten was already there, the basket was needed. Now there is no kitten, so there is no need for basket. Like that he said, unnecessarily don't introduce a new ritual of bringing a kitten from the market and, this thing he said. So now you heard the story now. So what is the principle being emphasized here? Only one word you should say. Don't say more than one word. Anybody?
Purity.
Huh? Cleanliness. That's all. Although I never use the word cleanliness. Correct, no? When I was describing it. So the principle is the hidden thing, fundamental thing. Correct, no? Now another example I'll tell you. Now the pujari is closing the altar, 1 o'clock, for example. That time some family is coming. In Pune, one family came from a village, almost like 10, 12 members, all old people, many of them. And they were all like that, they were all breathing heavily, they were climbing up. It was already 1 o'clock. Somebody told them that 1 o'clock altar closes. So they entered the temple hall and they came running, and that altar was almost half closed. They came running. I was just behind watching. So the pujari was a mature pujari. So because they came running, he waited for them. So it became almost 1-3, 1-4. They went near and watched the deities. They were very happy. He gave them some flower, some prasad he gave them. And then when he closed the altar, I saw how much delight was there in the face of those people. They, as if they have achieved some, World Cup gold medal or something, because they have come from very far away place to take darshan. So you can see the behavior of this pujari. And I have also seen in another occasion, few years ago, there was one pujari, very similar, exactly same instance. Some people were coming running, 1 o'clock, they're climbing running. From Prabhupada's side, they're coming running, this fellow, like that he closes. And then later on, I told one devotee, I asked him to open a little bit, let them take darshan. He said, no. Once closed, we don't open. Now Lord is going to rest now, he said. Then I had to go personally. I go and said, open now. And he became upset. Prabhuji, why are you changing standards? He was asking me. I said, what are you talking? You don't do a big blunder by opening it for a short while. Because his families come from far away place. So now I didn't say the principle, but I told you a couple of examples. What is the principle here? What is the principle that is being? I am saying one fellow followed it, one fellow didn't follow.
Pleasing devotees.
Pleasing devotees. Haribol. So like this, each thing has some very solid foundational principle. That principle cannot be changed. Detail can be changed, correct, no? Some detail. Now I'll tell you another example. I personally saw it with my own eyes. My switch master used to go to homes in those days in 91, 92. I also went with him. So in one occasion, he went to a house and the householder, after the program was over, he took Maharaj to one room and he privately wanted to talk to Maharaj. He showed the altar to Maharaj and said, Maharaj, you know, in my home, you can see the altar is full of demigods, you know. And in the middle, he had kept Radha Gopinath, one small frame. He kept it all around, there were demigods. And because Maharaj, my parents are here with me, you know, my mother, father, they're very old people and they worship all these devatas. And I am not able to remove all these demigods because daily they are also doing their puja. And I am also doing mine. And Maharaj said, no problem. You know, in the middle you have Radha Gopinath, fortunately. All us are around. It's like a moon surrounded by stars. No problem, we can have it like that. Go on like that. Later we will see, he said. 1 month later, I went with him to another house. And there, that fellow had made a bigger picture of the Radha Krishna deity he had made. But all the demigods are all below. So he asked Maharaj, Maharaj, I'm now cleaning up the altar. You know, I want to have Radha Gopinath and then I'm going to bring, you know, Gaur Nitai picture also I'm going to put here and all. And he said, these demigods, what to do, Maharaj? Actually, he said, my parents and relatives visit time to my house. That is why I'm not removing the demigods. And Maharaj said, we can keep demigods in the side like this. Like we do Hariharayana, we do, no, like that. We can keep them because they are all taking darshan of Radha Gopinath. Then he did like that. He kept them on the side. And when relatives come again, he will keep them like this. After they go, they will be the side. Now, third place we went after 2-3 months. So Maharaj was taking darshan. Big Radha Krishna, Gaur Nitai, Narasimhadev picture was there and Guru Parampara, everything was there. And in the altar there was one pocket kind of thing, packet. So Maharaj asked, what is this one? He said, Maharaj, all demigods are inside. Said, now I wanted to know whether I can do Jala Visarjana or something. Maharaj said, no, give it to those relatives who may want to worship them. Some of your relatives may be fond of them. If they want to worship, they can worship. Right now, they may not be worshipping anybody. If they want to worship this, if they want to, you can give it away, he said. So here, 3 different examples I gave you. But in all these 3 cases, one principle, what is the principle? Okay, he's saying respecting demigod. Is that?
Sensitivity.
Sensitivity. Sensitivity to the sentiments of relatives. Sensitivity to the sentiments of the relatives. Because they all are worshipping different devatas. On one hand, Maharaj wants to protect the devotion in the heart of these devotees. On the other hand, while protecting it, he also knows very well that this person's relationship with the relatives is likely to get damaged by overemphasizing on keeping the altar like a clean altar without anybody. Especially old parents, you see, they have some affinity to Ganesh or they have some affinity to Kartikeya or something like that. One more thing, what I suggest nowadays, you make 2 beautiful altars, one for you, one for your parents. Because they also want to sit and do puja and all. We can tell them, I will make one in your room only, keep it, all the demigods you keep with you, no problem. And I will have a demigod ISKCON altar. We can make. And parents are very happy. Thank you, one you made for myself. So they are happy, you are happy, win-win situation. Correct, no? In this way, the whole idea is we should be sensitive. Like one of the brahmacharis, you know, his family goes to one Kula Guru somewhere in the forest, somewhere in the mountain. And they have some matha. And when this boy first joined, he didn't go. Parents were very upset because the Kuluguru knows this brahmachari from childhood, from when he was a small boy. Now that he came to ISKCON, he said, Prabhuji, I rejected, I am not going. He's Mayavadi, and all he was telling. So next year, again, the parents were very much pushing him. Father said, I will personally come to ISKCON Pune and I will put you in pocket and take you. You have to come at any cost. So he came and asked me. I said, you see, any saintly person, if you bow down, you don't lose anything. Every saintly person teaches something good. Respect your parents, respect this, respect that, whatever. Just go with parents just to take care of their sentiments. So he went. They met the Kulaguru. They gave a donation to him or something. He bowed down and the Kulaguru asked, where are you and what are you doing? He said, I'm chanting Hare Mantra. He said, very good. May God bless you. And he sent him back. There was no problem. He said, ISKCON is very good. These guys are doing very good. And he was surprised to see that Guruji is praising ISKCON. Although he was a Mayavadi Guru. So in this way, the parents became very happy that it's only once in a year thing, just for a half an hour or something like that. Some festival, lot of thousands of people come. So the parents wanted to take him also. So in this way, the whole idea is sensitivity to the sentiments. That's the principle. So all of us, we should know the principle and hold on to the principle well and slightly adjust the details. That's the whole idea. Without compromising on our Guru Parampara, what they are teaching. Clear, no? Then?
I'm not aware of this, nor am I wanting to go against you or Srila Prabhupada's teachings, but I have a question. Are there spaces in ISKCON temples created for transgenders?
Are there?
Space created for transgenders.
See, the transgender or homosexual or lesbian, gay, all of them are allowed to come to ISKCON temple, take darshan, take prasad, chant, dance, read Prabhupada books, and even chant 16 rounds. All that they are allowed to do. What they are not allowed to do is to disturb the other devotees. If somebody is homosexual, he tries to catch one of the boys and takes him to his room and does some wrong thing, that is not allowed. So I clearly tell in Pune, also if some transgender or homosexual people come like that, you have the right to come, but if you are found to be disturbing, then we'll have to ban you. Then we can't be allowed. Then we'll tell the watchman, don't allow this fellow. He is coming and taking numbers of people and harassing people and things like that. Yeah, next.
In your document, yesterday you were showing a document about... So, senior devotee is mentioned repeatedly. Request for definition of a senior devotee. Is it one who is thorough in Srila Prabhupada books, maturity and experience together in ISKCON? Or just commitment and management skills, or how many years spent in ISKCON?
So he's asking who is a senior devotee. What is the first line you read?
First line is it one who is thorough in Srila Prabhupada books?
No. The question, how it began?
In your document, senior devotee is mentioned repeatedly. Okay, he's requesting for a definition of senior devotee.
Oh, right. Actually, senior devotee is a seasoned devotee. The seasoned devotee means one who has studied and assimilated the Siddhanta well, and is loyal to Acharya Prabhupada and Prabhupada's teachings, and is fixed up in his Krishna consciousness. He is not wavering, he is not unstable, and his character is pure. He doesn't have so character means two very important things. He doesn't commit aparaj, and he has no improper connection with the opposite sex. So in this way, his character is pure, his shuchi, he is pure, character and behavior is pure, and he is fixed in Krishna consciousness, not he is not a shaky fellow. And also he is seasoned in the sense that he is mature. Mature means he knows how to reconcile opposites. So then one is a seasoned and senior devotee. Actually those who have gone to they have studied extensively and they have gone in depth also. And deep understanding of the concepts and extensive study of the scripture. So anything asked, they should be able to immediately respond to that. Then it's a senior devotee, yeah?
We can take some questions directly.
Yeah.
If somebody has written questions, you can pass to me. Then I'll pass it to Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for wonderful biography of Srila Saraswati Thakur. I had some clarifications we have heard in over the years. Like this mango pastime, I heard or read somewhere maybe that he did not take ripe mangoes,
He
but
took
he took
kacha
mango
mango.
chutney.
I know Govind was saying that once.
Okay.
I heard that. Actually, see, one thing is there are certain details which are not so important.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, for example, when you talk about the person not taking mangoes, all of us are very fond of mangoes, correct? No?
Yeah.
To not eat ripe mango whole life, is it the ordinary thing?
Yes.
That should be glorified. To say that no, he took some mango chutney, which is kacha mango chutney,
No, I'm
pointing finger. This is craziness. Similarly, the pastime of our this thing, Shabari, not Shabari, the pastime of Shabari also, and also the Lakshman Rekha thing. It's not there in all the Ramayanas. Some Ramayana has it, some Ramayana doesn't have it. So somebody saying in that Ramayana it's not there. So how are you benefiting the devotees by saying that? Actually, we don't talk things whatever is not given in Bhagavatam, you don't try to concoct about it because it doesn't reinforce your devotion. So these kind of people who talk such things and eventually they go away from devotion service. They don't go on in devotion service. You will see that. That's the reason why in our ISKCON movement also, people who were at one time very powerful devotees, in the long run what happens, gradually they get gravitated in another direction because they bring in such kinds of things. Now, when we talk about in 5 years, in 3 years or 4 years, whatever, he ate a mango and then his father scolded him, and that remained in his mind. He didn't eat, ripe mango whole life. That's all we should speak.
Yes, Prabhuji. Then you told about Surya Siddhant,
Yeah.
that he, as far as I read or heard, that he wrote a commentary on the book Surya Siddhant, right? Which was very difficult to decipher for the other people. So that time he was given the title Siddhant Saraswati.
Yeah, correct. Siddhanta Saraswati.
Then lotus feet pastime, that bucket pastime that you
And
told.
Bhaktisiddhanta he was given.
Yeah. So that
See, Bhaktisiddhanta is actually mastery in bhakti, whereas Surya Siddhanta is mastery in astronomy. That means he is best in both. Yeah.
so that this pastime of Brahman versus Vaishnava debate, as far as I heard or from you and other devotees also, that he was not willing to put his lotus feet in the bucket, but forcibly means he was means pushed by police to do that, and then police sprinkled all over that. Is that correct?
I don't know that, but even if he willingly put also, there is nothing wrong in that. Because our Nityanand Prabhu would willingly put his lotus feet on the head of Raghunath Das. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also willingly put his head on put his lotus feet on Rup Sanatan's head. I've seen even His Holiness Indradhan Swami Maharaj, touched his lotus feet to one of the disciples' head. Actually, they are giving, the great souls, their heart is full of compassion. Any act they do, they don't have that bossing mentality or dominating mentality. But unfortunately, we in our conditioned stage, even our so-called service also has enjoying mentality. In their case, what appears to be dominating mentality also is done with mood of service. Therefore, because it is done in a spirit of service, it's not a problem, even if it gives.
And
One more question is here. It's coming from online. We are able to give compassion to all through preaching, but unable to show the same who are living with us, such as relatives, elders, etc., by speaking to them, serving them, just because we don't like them due to their past or present behavior, and we are unable to forget the past and treat them indifferently. How to see them compassionately?
Is he talking about blood relatives or is he talking about the fellow devotees?
No, blood relatives.
Huh?
It's a householder.
House relatives. Okay. So if it is fellow devotees, another answer.
Family relatives.
Relatives. If it is relatives in the home, if you are remembering the past, especially there are some relatives who are very, very important for you, like your mother, father, brother, sister, who are direct blood relatives. They are very important for you. Other than that, other relatives, even if you are not keeping in touch and even if you are, you have difficulty with them, you can always keep away from them. But these people you cannot very easily keep away. Mother, father, brother, sister, you can't keep away. With these people, if a father sometimes say he criticized ISKCON, he vehemently opposed in your early practice or something, and that impressions are in your mind, you can see that he was innocent. his shouting and all was due to ignorance and innocence. Correct now. One example I'll tell you. In 1991, Sankirtan Prabhu joined full time in Chopari temple. At that time, his mother was vehemently opposing it, and he somehow joined. He's a very soft devotee, So his mother came to the temple. So they were sitting in a sofa, and mother and son, they were looking at each other. Very softly, they were arguing. Later on, Maharaj asked, "What were you saying?" "Maharaj, we are arguing." He said, "It doesn't look like arguing." you know, it looks like so soft they used to speak. But then the mother went and told his uncle or somebody, and the uncle gave an advertisement in the newspaper that ISKCON people have taken away our boy and everything. Because mother went and cried to her brother, I think. And then he gave in the paper, so it's some bad name to ISKCON. Later, 10, 12 years later, that Mataji started chanting and everything, and she got initiated by Radha Swami Maharaj. Then the initiation program, she was weeping. And after the program was over, she met Maharaj in the room. Maharaj said, "Why are you weeping? What happened?" He said, "Maharaj, what a cruel woman I am. Because of my crying, my family members, gave something bad about ISKCON in paper and everything like that." She said, Maharaj said, "Don't worry. You have given your son to this moment, and he is doing so much very wonderful services. And you yourself have become initiated devotee. Now there is no more any blemish in your account. You are completely freed from it," Maharaj said. And then she was peaceful after that. So why am I saying? So his mother may apparently be opposing ISKCON before. Later on she became favorable. Similarly, our father or somebody may be opposing. You can't consider him a demon because they love you so much. Their expression of anger towards ISKCON is actually due to love for you. That's how we should see. So when you think like that, then your anger towards relatives will go away. Correct, no? They are innocent. And also you should know that as much as you know Krishna consciousness, they are not aware. The moment they become aware like you, they may also become devotee like you. Then?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, in Bhagavad Gita there are many shlokas. How to remember those shlokas? Is there a technique to remember while book distribution? During preaching to a new devotees, which all the shlokas that should be used, addressed, so that...
Okay. One shloka you can tell people is Raja Vidya, Raja Guhyam, Pavitram. It's a king of all knowledge. Because you have, like earth, you study about the solids and theory of machines and, all the things. Study about liquids in hydraulics and fluid machinery. You study about gases in turbo machinery. Use thermodynamics, isn't it? You study about fire in fire engineering or heat and mass transfer. And you study about ether in acoustic physics. And then beyond that, man, buddhi, ahankar, you study in psychology, psychiatry. Beyond all this, there is soul, and the knowledge of soul and super soul is given in Bhagavad Gita, so it's king of all knowledge. So it's spiritual. So something like that you can say. So you can also quote shloka like Maya Dakshana Prakriti to explain how the nature is in Krishna's control. You can also explain about what Arjuna and Krishna Bhaktosime Sakha Chaiti Rahasyam Chatum. So you can also be like Arjuna, become a friend of the Lord and all knowledge will be revealed to you. We should talk in a way that will increase their affection for Krishna. Chakravarti Thakur says that. Like you can say that, how Krishna is saying, Matchitta, Sarva Durgani, Mat Prasadat, Parishyasi, Atachetvam Ahankaram, Nashoshish Vinakshasi. You can memorize slokas like this. You can say, Krishna says, by his mercy, you can cross over all problems in life. So just read Bhagavad Gita, all problems will be solved. Arjuna was crying, later on he became confident. So you also read Bhagavad Gita and then you will also become like Arjuna. This kind of shlokas we can memorize. And memorizing shloka, easiest way is, first you read word by word, know the meaning, and then say a quarter line and then one full line, and then try to utter the line with the remembrance of the meaning. That's the best way to memorize. Very easily you can remember. Next.
How do we reconcile the teachings of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati and today's ISKCON, such as fundraising programs, non-Bhagavata, non-Krishna conscious seminars in ISKCON temples?
Yeah, it's not good, not auspicious. So we have to definitely... One thing is, any auspicious work you start in this world, it will always eventually will have some unwanted element also. For example, you start a fire in the kitchen, there will also be smoke. You wanted smoke or you wanted fire? Fire. Krishna says in 18th chapter that when you lit fire, there will be smoke. Similarly, any good work you start, some shadow will come. But for that sake, you should not give up the work, he says. Continue the good work. Anyway, the more you increase the fire in the furnace, the smoke will be gone. That's what he says. You do that. So, I would suggest that we should increase the Sankirtan and the spiritual intensity of our temples. That's all?
Yeah, I think there was one question, hand raising.
Yeah.
Online, okay. Done. Any other questions?
Yeah. Anyone else? Yes. You have given.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you for the class. Many times while doing services, you were saying about this Pujari case, like where he was closing the door. So like generally during our training, like it is said that like principle should be followed or else we'll go deviations, even 1% of deviation.
Correct.
So how to have this maturity while doing things, like following the principles and also having maturity without deviations and everything.
Therefore, what I would suggest is that changing the detail we should not whimsically do. Even changing, the devil is in details, we say, no? So while changing details, it's better that we check with our superior. I'm planning to change this detail, is it all right? Right now, for example, some colleges we keep 50 rupees charge for the DYS course. And in some colleges we don't keep any charges. And the principle is same. What is the principle? What is the principle? There's only one principle because of which we charge them, the same principle because of which we don't charge them. Students should come, that's the point. In some places, if you don't charge, they take your course cheaply and nobody comes. Prabhupada gave the example, in one big hall program they arranged, only 7 people came. And Prabhupada gave the lecture. Next day, devotees are very, very unhappy. They said, Prabhupada, we invited you, we could not get people. Prabhupada said, no, there were all crores of demigods who were sitting and hearing. You may not see them, but when you speak Bhagavatam, many, many devatas come, he said. And Prabhupada encouraged them. And then Prabhupada told them, you see, one Zamindar had a very big mango orchard. He arranged for 4 mangoes to be distributed in each house. Some people accepted, but later many people objected. And they asked why? Kuch to hoga. Why are you giving free? I think it will lead to some problem or something. They suspected. Therefore, Prabhupada said, anything you give free, people take it cheaply. So then you charge. Like many of these organizations, you see Sadhguru or Shishi and all, they are charged nowadays, correct now? 1,500, 2,000. And people also think, because they are charging, something must be there. And they earn crores of rupees by that for their missionary activities. And we people never charge at all. So sometimes charging is good, people take us seriously, correct now? Like for example, I give company seminars. I have been not asking any money wherever I have been giving. I would tell them that after I give my seminar, in case you liked it, you benefited, you give charity. That's Brahman. Correct, no? Brahman means you don't ask. Now what some companies do, they fix you. The day before they will tell you that we have something else came up. So therefore we are cancelling it or we are postponing it like that. 2-3 times some people did like that. Now, if I have a man who is fixed for commercials, I will not charge the company. What I will tell the company, oh, you want me? You can contact that person. And then that person will write to them, this Prabhuji will not touch, he will not ask single money, but because ISKCON is a charitable organization, for the organization you have to pay 2 lakhs for a seminar for 2 hours. So he will say. Now once they fix me for 2 lakhs, will they postpone it? Correct, no? So now some of the preachers in ISKCON, they are paid 5 lakhs now, 8 lakhs now. This what is this company? Walmart, I think. Walmart in Hyderabad. When Chaitanya Prabhu had come, they gave 5 lakhs they gave. I thought it's a very big amount. They said, no, for Sadhguru they gave 40 lakhs. So just for 2 hours for 40 lakhs they gave. So companies have money like water. But as a Brahmana, I go, no. Whatever you guys want to give, you give. They take you very cheaply. So, of course, I never would charge anybody. I feel very uneasy to charge. Even our Pune Bhakti Shastri course, we charge only 2,000. Many places Bhakti Shastri course are 10,000 and all, correct, no? 5,000, 10,000, 20,000 for the course. We charge only 2,000. Any other smaller course in Pune, it's only 300 rupees. Our team was very unhappy. They said, Prabhuji, why are you so much keeping less? We have so much. I told him, any expenditure you want, I'll give from voice. We'll give our, like that I told them. Because education should not be charged. But then people take it cheaply sometimes and you do it free. Yeah. So many organizations keep hefty amount of money for meeting this. So that's what Prabhupada said, I'm sitting in Hotel Sheraton, 14th floor. Why? The reporters asked him, Swamiji, you're supposed to be simple. Prabhupada said, if I'm under a tree, will you come? They thought and said, no, we won't come. That's why I'm sitting here. So actually it is a fact that when Swamis give some very nice pointers for application, many people immensely benefit. Because those who study Shastras deeply and live according to Shastras, they have some Shakti by which they can give decision and direction by which they can evaporate the anxieties of the conditioned souls. They have the power. And they deserve such big money also, many times. Especially I am not talking about other organizations, I am talking about Prabhupada. Prabhupada and all those who are following Prabhupada, correct now? So they deserve it. But if you don't take it, these guys are using it for so many other things. So recently, one of the devotees told me, he said, Prabhu, if you are not going to take money, these fellows will drink and smoke and waste that money. So better let it come to Krishna's movement. So charging also has the same reason, and not charging also is we don't want to unnecessarily charge the people, and good souls should not miss out because of my spiritual master in the early days when he came to India. He wanted a Krishna book, but he didn't have any money. He was going and begging people. He collected paisa, 1 rupee, 50 paise here and there collected, and he had some money. And then he came and gave in the table, and then he got a copy of Krishna book. Imagine somebody didn't have money because of which they couldn't join the course. We should not miss good souls. That's why we keep it free. So either way, keeping free or charging, the goal is to get people. So the principle should be understood. Then you can, according to Desh Kala Patra, you can adjust. Like you go to MBA college, people are stinking rich. For 1 year, they're paying 10 lakhs, 15 lakhs they're paying. So if you don't charge a course there, commercials, like they invited me in Symbiosis and Diva Patel in Pune. For 1 period, they're giving 7,500 rupees. Just for 1 period. So they have 15 periods like that. 1.5 lakhs they've already given. So they're ready to give. They have money. And you say, no, you are Brahmins, whatever you wish to give charity. They say, oh, then we don't want to call this fellow. I think this fellow doesn't have any stuff. Better call some other bogus fellow they call. And for him, they'll give 1.5 lakhs. Understand? So therefore, according to Desh Kala Patra, we have to change. Correct, no?
Prabhuji, just one last question.
There is one hand up behind. You can give Prabhuji. Nice, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you very much for a very nice class.
Thank you.
I have this question. So I was in Mayapur Yatra serving prasadam. So next to me there was a brahmachari. Next to me there was a grihastha. So after some time, a brahmachari from a different line of serving prasadam, he came to him saying, can you please swap your position? So brahmachari came next to me and grihastha went there. After some time, that grihastha also came back here.
Okay.
And
any reason?
No, so I asked him, and they were talking peace. So I asked him after some time, is there some secret, that I should learn, why you should go and come? He said, he's a brahmachari. There were some young age Matajis coming there. So he was not comfortable. So he came here. So then I asked him, why did you also come back? He said, I also was not comfortable. So my question is, now I don't have any issues serving whoever. So should I also be afraid, or am I being too courageous?
Ideally speaking, it is best that prasadam serving for Matajis do. And for Prabhujis do. That's most ideal. There is one reason for this. Because Bhunkte Bhojete Chaiva is one of the aspects of Priti Lakshanam. So you want to do Priti Lakshanam with men more. Correct, no? That's the reason we should do for Prabhujis. That's ideal. But sometimes Matajis find it difficult to lift the spoon. They have a physically weak body. They find it difficult to serve. And they may serve for 5-10 minutes. After some time they get tired very easily. So then we put a strong Vanaprastha men. Those who are like 70, 75, but still strong fellows. Some fellows are strong after 75 also. Have you seen that? 90 people, 80, 90 people we have. After the 3-day Vanaprastha, immediately 4 of them went for bus party. I couldn't believe my eyes. How can brahmacharis have such weak bodies nowadays? They say we cannot go. And these 4 guys went. They went for 15 days in bus party. So that generation is still strong. Their body is strong. So if somebody, 1% men are strong, then they can serve the Matajis because they are more in a grandfatherly or fatherly age. Then they may serve. But if even somebody may be 75-year-old man, still he feels some uneasiness while dealing with women because body has become old, instrument has become old, but the vasanas are not gone. Then he is going to take one more body now after this birth because vasanas are still lurking. So he will need another body to execute the desires. Correct, no? Then for that fellow, even though his age is 75, 80, he should be told that avoid Matajis. Correct, no? On the other hand, somebody may be very young also, but they are not disturbed. Unnecessarily, they are not agitated. They, like Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj came to Pune and he said, one brahmachari asked a similar question. He said, how do you deal with your mother? How do you deal with your sister? Do you have any bad feelings while dealing with them? He said, absolutely not. He said, that is a kind of sacred relationship. He said, why don't you see all the Matajis like that? Other than your wife, everybody else should be seen just like you see your sister or mother. And he said, like a man should consider every woman to be his daughter or like a mother. Similarly, every woman should think of other men to be like her son or like a father. This is the ideal way of seeing. If you can see that, sometimes we have to serve. When we are serving the prasad, we can serve also. If mind is getting agitated for somebody, then better not serve. In ISKCON, it's not a very rigid rule that men cannot serve women. It's not like that. But we have made a system in Hyderabad also that men serve men, women serve women. We have made like that. Because sometimes women are very emotional and they are very innocent. They think all the men are, they are very fond of taking shelter of men. So they will speak sweetly with man, considering them like a father. But men may not take it in a correct spirit because man's mind is filled with propensity for enjoying women. So he may take it in a wrong spirit. Like he may wonder, hey, why this Mata is smiling at me and she's talking such sweet words to me? Maybe what is in me that she's so much attracted? There is nothing in you. But actually, Matajis, many times they need shelter and security. Somebody who speaks in a way that gives them security. There are so many young girls who write mail to me, Radheshyam Prabhu, please, help me get married, with a good boy, because they see that Radheshyam Prabhu has a lot of boys. He'll get good boy. Yeah. And I immediately connect them to some other Mataji and tell them, see, this Mataji will prepare you to become a good devotee and then you'll get a good devotee boy. Now you're not even chanting one round. You want a devotee boy? First you become a devotee. So I have connected so many girls, so many boys to marriage bureau with many people. Somebody said, Prabhuji, you are brahmachari, how can you connect to marriage bureau? I said, even Narada Muni connected Rukmini to Krishna, But if somebody is disturbed, then one should not respond. Like one brahmachari got a mail from a girl saying that, Prabhuji, can you help me get a good boy? He said, Prabhuji, I think she's targeting me. She's going to pull my leg. I said, you're already old man. Why are you? So women actually need shelter. So therefore, because the psychology is so complex, therefore we kept a very simple flat policy. Men serve men, women serve women. We kept a policy. And also married people can counsel a couple, husband, wife. They can counsel a husband, wife together. But if a woman wants guidance, like for example, O.B.L. Kapoor, his wife wanted to talk to Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, but she wanted to talk alone privately. He said, no, you have to come with your husband. He said, my problem I have with the husband only. And how can I bring him? He said, no, you talk in his presence, not a problem. I will answer in such a manner that both of you will get some solution like that. He said, refused to meet her alone, although she was fit enough to be like his granddaughter. And there was another Jamindar. He was himself Jamindar. And his mother was more than 75 plus. She wanted to meet Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur alone. He didn't agree. He said, yes, I agree that you are very old. Still, it is not proper etiquette to meet a woman alone. So, therefore, there is a rule of 3. Rule of 3 means, like for example, if some Mataji writes a mail to me, immediately I will add my assistant in CC. That should be one more person watching me, what I am replying. Because tomorrow, sometimes the ladies may exaggerate things. I wrote to Prabhuji, Prabhuji said this, Prabhuji wrote that, they will say. So better that you have one more fellow who is a sakshi for that. That is always important. One mother said, Prabhuji, don't add anybody, I want to ask a private question. That is not possible. We have to have. Otherwise I told her, okay, we'll put your father's name. Because he's a Bharta. He's a protector. Or your son's name. Or your brother's name. So if somebody says, no, I don't want any male person hearing your answer to me, no. And then I am sorry, I said, my ashram won't allow me. I am actually a Saffron Sadhu Baba. You cannot connect with me alone. She is saying, I am soul, you are soul, what is the problem? Soul is all right. But no. But still we are seated in you are seated in a female body, I am seated in a male body, and that's a brahmachari male body. So this won't allow. So therefore, I have been very careful since the very early days. I strictly follow this. Then, because if you strictly follow this, then you can actually be helpful to women, those who need help in a proper manner. We should facilitate the devotional service without trying to enjoy them. That everybody cannot do that. If we try to do that, many people have got into mess. But that's why Prabhupada says, honest avoidance of opposite sex. What is that honest? That's honesty is required. If we have duplicitous mentality, we won't be able to do that, and eventually we'll create a mess. And that mess has caused so much bad name to our society also. Now it's getting late now, it's 10:13 now.
One very small question, Prabhuji.
Okay.
You showed one quote.
I'll personally answer. Now they all have to go on also. And I have to rush to this thing. I'm going to Sheshadipuram. Isole Bhaktivika Swami is giving class there. 11 o'clock I have to reach there. I don't know how I'm going to catch up now. Srila Prabhupada ki. I want to attend.